Barbara the Builder. Can she fix it? We'll find out. On today's episode of Dicey Dungeons, we are back in the little crystal cavern area that we ended with the witch. And we are going to start off by picking up the free item in this direction. Counterfeit. Duplicate a dice. This looks like a 2-slot. I believe I remember its upgrade being a 1-slot. Let me put that on my little sheet of paper here so that I remember that I have it. I believe I remember when we were fighting the Banshee with the previous Inventor run, we had Counterfeit in our backpack. And because I was so upset with how that fight went, I went back and recalculated how it would have gone if we had brought Counterfeit into the fight. And I saw that I would have won, and I would have continued had that been the case. So, sucks to suck, but whatever. We're going to fight the Fireman in order to get another free item. We're going to start with Blowtorch. On evens, he is burning me and dealing damage, so we want him to be rolling odds. He's got 4 dice. So if we can find a way to shock him, that would be terrific. However, do we want to bump this to tick down Spike? Or do we want to bump it in order to do more sword damage? I don't think we need to bump it to tick down Spike. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to bump the 4, right? Or bump the 3 to a 4. 4 in sword. 6 in hammer to shock him 1. Then we're going to tick this down 3 so that Spike is easier next turn. Oof! Oh my god, so he's doing 10 damage to us, it looks like. Burning us too. Yowza. However, we do have our focus. Now, one thing I'm curious about, will using our focus remove the burn, or will we still have all 6s and burn? That's the question. So we're going to be able to do, with focus, potentially, 15 damage to him this turn. Which will get him down to 3, which means Blowtorch is a guaranteed kill next turn. So I think that is what we do. We're going to use the focus now. Alright, so we are still burned, which kind of blows. So we're going to shock him first with this one. We are going to tank this bit of health to get a sword on him. And then... Wait a second, how is my math so... Oh no, because we can only do 3. I saw that I had a 6 and got fucked up. Is taking 2 more damage worth 3 health when we're almost certainly going to be able to kill? I don't think so. So we end the turn here. Although he is going to be doing 6 more damage to us. Burning 2 again. So can we kill him on 1 die? No. Oh, yes we can, because we can bump. We can do that. We can bump the 2. And then we're just going to do the spike just for the hell of it. Alrighty, so HP-wise, we're not looking too good, but we were able to extinguish the Fireman. Now, what do we get rid of? We've got sword, hammer, bump. We've still got... I wish it would have given us the spike. But I think this is the point where we get rid of bump, right? To give ourselves mega bump against the baby squid. And then what we're going to do is we're actually... Well, let's see what this item is first. Let's not get too hasty. But my current plan is to pop Counterfeit in there. And, because that's a really good gadget coming up for it. But that is a small item, scrap metal. So I think, since we've got the bully over there, we're going to hope that it gives us the scrap metal one. We're going to keep our build as is. And then discard scrap metal if it gives it to us. Otherwise, spike. I mean, we'll guaranteed get either spike or scrap metal, so that's the plan as it is, and we're going to kick the baby squid's ass. Hopefully that doesn't mean the Kraken is around the corner later on. Okay, so do we want to use Mega Bump for a 6, 2 3s, and a 1? The 2 3s would give us spike, the 1, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, that'd be 10 damage and a shock. Well, I mean, we use Mega Bump either way, it's not like... We shouldn't be using gadgets. It's just a matter of where does it go. This is clear and obvious. Here's what I think we do. I think setting up an easy spike the next turn is the way to go. So then we do 3 with the sword either way with less dice usage. And then we're going to pop 1 shield in there. And let's remind ourselves what the baby squid does. On odds, she is blinding me. On evens, she can headbutt me twice per turn. So let's see what we've got. We've got... oh, thank God that shock was there. Otherwise, we would have done... We would have been down to 3. I mean, we would be almost dead. So, okay, let's be mindful of the fact that we have literally only 9 health left very early in the run. And we may have to pop our focus here to try and win. Okay, so if we pop focus, what's going to happen? Our Mega Bump is going to give us 3 6s, 3 1s. So that would allow us to use the 3 1s here. 1, 2, 3. 12, 15. We'd only be able to do 15 damage. However, we would be able to shock her. But I mean, if she's rolling a 6 and a 4, we're donezo. Fuck. This is... We might lose this run right fucking here. Like, this is terrifying. Okay. Or do we put at least one of these in shield? I think we have to, because 12 isn't that much different from 15. And we need something. So we're gonna... Oh, well, I can put the other 6 in here, can't I? Yeah, totes. Totes my goats. So that's gonna happen there. That's gonna happen there. This is gonna tick down here to get her down to 3. Alrighty. Let's hope she doesn't roll high. Okay, thank the good Lord Jesus Cristo. We are only blinded 1. And we'll be able to kill her with a mega bumped spike, because why not? And we got the win. We got the level up. We are level 4. Almost came across our demise on the 3rd floor of the dungeon. And now we give up scrap metal so that we are taking less damage versus the bully. We receive our, what, 4th die? Yeah, so we have 4 dice now. I'm going to get rid of scrap metal on my sheet there. So let us see what the shop has to offer. Otherwise, we're going to take out Spike and pop in Counterfeit to try and get some lots of 6s here. Okay, upgrades, again, we're ignoring because I don't think they're super good. Healing Crystal is good to pair with Venus Flytrap, but it is not good for focus. Scrap Metal, however, is still 4 gold. You know what? I'm not impressed by that shop. Let's see what Yolanda's got to offer down the street after we face off against the bully. Alright, let's remind ourselves what he does after we barricade. Yes, he's got rocks once per battle, and then otherwise he's doing 2 sets of fist damage per turn. So we are going to want to... The 5 and the 1 would tick down the spike for 3, plus an additional 8 is 11 damage. I think that's our best option right now, since we cannot shock. Alright, not a bad first turn. He's going to be throwing 2 rocks, presumably. Oh, no, he's going to be doing his fist, because that's more damage. Alright, so the shield tanks one of those. Pretty good stuff there. Now, we are definitely going to... Let's get Spike almost ready. And then we are going to shock and max sword damage. And next turn, we should be able to kill him if we don't roll... No, not necessarily. No, we do not necessarily have a kill in the bag here. We've got a guaranteed spike at least. Man, rolling low is kind of fucking with us. However, we've shielded 6 damage so far. Okay, so... Yeah, this is obvious here. Oh man, and we're going to be literally 1 damage short of killing him. That really blows. Alright, well that's what we get for having a shield gadget. Now he's throwing rocks for 9 damage. Alright, so we only took 6 of that. But I mean, man, we're a hot minute away from our level up. We definitely do not want to use this here. So we are going to hammer him for 1 damage. For the win. Now, what do we want to give up? Obviously, it is Spike to get P-Gun next time. And then let us see what new items and stuff we're going to pick up. We're clearly healing. Alright, so we have 2 spaces open. There are actually 2 Keyblades available. This is confusing to me. I've got the gadget preview up. Why does this one... This one is both 1 gold less and does not show a gadget preview. Why is that? Is it not possible to turn that into a gadget? I don't understand. So Keyblade is a good one to have, especially because Magic Dice is a terrific gadget. This is just as long as we have a free slot, we can, you know, pop anything in there to just do 3 damage. Crossbow is a tick down from 12. I don't like tick downs. At least not when I don't have a great method of generating dice. So I'm thinking of... If the 1 gold is literally the difference that's giving me the Magic Dice, that is so worth it. So I think we buy the Keyblade. We find out what is in here. It is another bump. Ah, man, I think that's pretty good. Because bump is able to turn... is able to make us, like, shock with hammer on a 5, right? Keyblade is just free damage. It's just a free 3. And then sword. This is a really good setup. Do we want counterfeit for any reason? Not really. So I think we're at a pretty good setup here. Let me update my sheet. Keyblade, we're going to toss the bump down there. And of course, Magic Dice is going to come in very handy. So the question is now, let's double check this one. Do we want Healing Crystal or more Scrap Metal? I don't think so, because we've got Venus Flytrap. However, health has been an issue for me. And I don't think we can pass up equipment if we're going to be running out of it. So I think we've got to buy Healing Crystal. We just don't want it to be on our build right now. Or do we? Well, with Keyblade, we're doing extra damage, so I actually think we want Healing Crystal in here. So we've got Bump in the pocket. We've got Healing Crystal in there. And now we're going to try and do one more whole floor before the rest of this video. Let's see what we got, folks. Gonna take another sip of my beer. Sponsored by Heineken. The more you know. Okay. So this guy's probably susceptible to fire. I remember him. Oh, we've got my favorite. Sorcerer Babe. Sorceress. So what am I going to level up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Probably after completing this entire floor, which blows. So we want access to this quick heal here and the extra item. Fighting the Sorceress literally gets us nothing. So we want to fight the Wicker Man. He is weak to fire. We have our focus. I didn't even realize that. So we definitely want to P-gun him. That sounded like it was really loud that time for some reason. He's ticking down his Wicker Staff to burn us. He can heal with 6s. With what can we do with 4 6s? Literally nothing. This is not a good focus build. Hammer's the only thing that matters. Okay, so here's what we're actually going to do. There's no reason not to recover a little bit of health with Healing Crystal, even though it's only 1. But I mean, I guess we can just use our focus to get the 1 shock, but like, I'm even like trying to build for it, and I don't like her, I still don't like her focus, or her limit break. Okay, so he can heal 2 while doing 6 to me. And then he's going to tick that down 5, so we've got to try and do a lot of damage now. Right now. We're going to shock. We are going to heal 1 teensy bit more, and then we are going to Keyblade this up. 12 left. Let's see how did he have an Australian accent? It sounded like he said, no fucking way. He's like, no fucking way. Alright, so good shit he's not able to get the tick down. We actually have another focus, and it might be more useful this time. So we do another little bit of healing. Yeah, I think it is. Well, no, because Keyblade's going to kill him anyway for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 4 more here. Yeah, so we can save our focus for next time, when it may potentially do a teensy bit more damage. Alright, so we got the win. Still quite a few fights from leveling up. Now, the next fight is the Sorceress, right? Is this where we want? We've got Bump in the pocket. Bump does not work well with Healing Crystal, although maybe it does, because it'll give it to us after a focus guarantee. Do we want Regenerate, Magic Dice, or Jackhammer? I don't think we give up our hammer, because it's so good. Essentially, do we want heals, or do we want extra dice for this? And I think we go with... We don't need extra dice, so I think we go with heals. So we're going to take out the Healing Crystal. We're going to make sure that we put Bump... Well, let's see what this new item is first, if it's a small one. It is a Ray Gun. So in other words, anything except a 1 or a 2. This works terrific with Focus because it can be used 3 times per turn. As long as we find a way to generate extra dice. Now we have to fight both of them. We're not going to get another heal. So there's no reason why we don't pop that. And we just hope that we'll be able to get through 2 more fights to end this video. We've got the Ray Gun in there. Do we want Ray Gun or Bump? Ray Gun and Bump work well together because it means that a 2 will guaranteed give us access to it. Honestly, man, I don't really like Ray Gun in this build unless we pop in Counterfeit in there. So then the question becomes... Plasma Gun is a good one, is a good thing there. But I think we kind of want Mega Bump. So let's pop Ray Gun out temporarily and see if we can't do Mega Bump. Otherwise, then we pop our Keyblade. Alrighty. What you got in store for us? Man, she is so cute. Alright, so we are going to regenerate immediately. Now, do we want our focus? Let's remind ourselves what she does. She's kind of like the Witch. She has Cauldron to do 1 and get a new one to try and get her Ice Shard odds. Otherwise, she's inflictioning me. So, focus is going to be a good counter because she'll be turning my shit into 1s. Ray Gun probably is... It's terrific that I did not use Ray Gun because it would have fucked me over. I think we want max damage right away, so we're going to make this do that. I don't think there's any point in bumping because we don't have enough stuff to bump with. So we are going to do that, and that's all we can do. 6 and a 1, so she can freeze me, do 1 damage, and then she can do 3 more. Okay. We got pretty lucky with our rolls, all things considered. We're definitely going to shock her here, but do we want to bump it first? I don't see any reason to, because we want to bump the 5 to a 6 for extra sword damage. And then we're just going to do another 3 with Keyblade, and she is very, very close to dying. She can freeze us again for 3, and then she can do an additional 3 with Infliction. We're definitely going to make sure we make use of our Regenerate, as it's about to go away. And I believe we only lost like 1 health in this fight, or we have the same amount that we went in with. So we're going to bump that to a 4, and then use that on Hammer, and that is the fight. Well, this is going terrifically. We did not get bumped, sadly, so we're going to have to say goodbye to our Keyblade. We'll have an extra dice for the Loud Bird. Alright, now let's take stock of what we've got. We've got Hammer, Sword, and Bump. In our pocket, I think we toss in the Ray Gun here. Just to pair it with Bump to make it 2 usable, so that's only... I don't think the Loud Bird can freeze, so that's not going to be a problem. And I think we're good on healing, because we're going to level up after this fight. Famous last words. So let's put that in my sheet here. And we're going to have a great fight against the Loud Bird for you. To wrap up this video, we'll see what item we get as well. Let's get right into it. The Inventor is kicking ass this time, and I could not be happier. Barbara the Builder, as I have now so fondly named her. So it's going to give us an extra 5. Honestly, Magic Dice, we don't really need it. The only thing it's going to be helpful for is Ray Gun. So, well, yeah, because it's minimum 3. So yeah, it is still good. Alrighty, so Bump. Here's the move. Bump is going to be able to make that Ray Gunnable. And then we're going to Shock. We are going to Sword with the 5. Then we're going to ray gun twice. For a total of, my god, that was like almost 20 damage. That was like 17 damage. Loud Bird can silence me on a double, otherwise even is dodging, and odd is +2 weakening. Oh my god. So good thing we got a good first turn off. Oh yeah, we're getting weakened, and he is dodging for sure. Oh, I forgot that he had doubles and can unshock that. Okay, so minimal damage, double weakened, we are silenced. So, in other words, we'd have to put 2 dice in there to just get 1 back, so I don't think the silence is the way to go. Do we want the 6s, though, for our focus? I don't think we need it either. I think we need to ignore being silenced, right? We cannot use bump. We can use ray gun a few times. I think we shock for sure. And then what we do is we sword once here, and we ray gun 2 more times for an additional 6, and Loud Bird is down to 10. Okay, so we are not getting silenced, which is good. Dodging the next attack. We are still weakened 2. Okay, so the next attack that happens is being dodged, which to me means it's got to be ray gun. So I think we bump the 2 to 3. We use that on ray gun, which he's going to dodge. We magic dice to see we get a 4. Hammer isn't going to shock, but we are going to be able to hammer. We're going to be able to sword for 5, and then ray gun for the kill. We didn't even need to use our focus. I kind of wish focus had a little bit of healing power. Level up to level 5, almost at max level. And I think here we quite obviously are going to give up bump to get mega bump for the next fight, to keep mega bump rather. And what do we want for our reward? Do we want to upgrade something that we really like? In other words, like our hammer or maybe our Venus flytrap or something. Do we want a piece of scrap metal? So we got rid of bump. So we currently, or do we want to copy a piece of equipment? We want to copy hammer, sword, ray gun, Venus flytrap, or counterfeit. I don't think there's anything we want to copy. I'm going to rule that out. Scrap metal is not bad, as long as it actually chooses it. Or do we want to upgrade something we know we're going to keep? We've actually got a fair amount of gear. I'm thinking we take the upgrade and use it on hammer, sword, Venus flytrap, or counterfeit. One of those that we think, you know, we know we're going to keep. So let's do that. Hammer makes it small, which is pretty good, so we'd be able to stack that with ray gun and also pop Venus flytrap in there. That's pretty good. Ray gun increases the damage by 1, which is pretty good, but we need more dice to really make use of that. Sword, it's going to do an additional damage, which is pretty good, actually. It's not as good as hammer, though. In our backpack, we've got the Venus flytrap, which is going to be restoring more health on a 6. Or counterfeit makes it small, which then counterfeit could go well with our underneath our ray gun. However, we're really not hurting for damage right now, so I think the good way to go is to make hammer small. So hammer is now small. We definitely do not want to give that up. And then we are actually going to put... You know what? I do not want to chance losing Venus flytrap yet. I want that for the final boss battle. So I think I want to actually put in counterfeit here to be copying 6s, or otherwise things to use for ray gun. So that is our current build. We've got counterfeit, ray gun, hammer, and sword. We're going to see what this is. Spark. So an even it'll burn, but mostly we want that for blowtorch. Do we want to put that in for, say, ray gun? Well, I guess, you know what? We will find out when we see what our first opponent on floor 5 is on the next video. I love y'all. Have a great rest of your night. And everybody, stay cool, Pony Boy!